Hey y'all, thought I'd talk about the 48 Chevy here for a few minutes. Kind of complete some of the other stuff I've put out. Kind of, give a little bit of closure to things and wrap things up on it. Um, this car went from sitting in someone's backyard for decades to 11 months later, uh, to now we're, taking it to cruise-ins and things like that, and letting people enjoy it and having a lot of good times, meeting new people and everything. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of family time together, family time working on it, and going and do these things. It's it's good. It's something we get to learn together and have fun together, things like that. Get to enjoy it with a lot of people. So, with all of that in mind, um, tell you, I did this car on an extremely uh, conservative budget. For one thing, just to see, how cheap can you do it? That's not really the right way to say it because I didn't buy cheap stuff. I did a lot of research. I like finding the type of wire that I needed. Good quality wire for the best price I could get it for, which turned out to be from Tons Performance on eBay. I was able to buy the lengths that I needed without buying extra. The patterns that I wanted, some of them were kind of stock, some of them weren't. Um, but made it my own. The interior, most of the upholstery actually came from Hobby Lobby, a place I really like to support because of their stance of not being open on Sundays, which I do believe some things should be open on Sundays if they want to be. If they don't want to be, then they shouldn't have to be. I like that, you know. If you know me, you know why. So, taking things like that into consideration, shopping around, the carpets in this car came from Dollar General. Two $10 carpets. The floor mats came from Roses, actually. Uh, different things like that. The headliner came out of Georgia from a guy that I just happened to run across on a YouTube video, and it worked fantastic for about half the price that I could find it anywhere else. So, it was kind of like a shot in the dark, but my kids bought it for me. It was a Father's Day present. I mean, how can you beat that? Just things like that. Tires came off of eBay, cokers with the inner tubes were bought off Amazon, coker inner tubes. I couldn't find them cheaper anywhere else than Amazon. But the tires were purchased, the coker white walls were purchased from Jegs through eBay. Just different things like that. The wheel cylinder kits, the master cylinder rebuild kit, purchased off of Rock Auto, AC Delco kits or Ray Bestas kits, not the El Cheapo stuff, the good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Put the effort into finding the good quality products at the most affordable vendor. Some of you may hate Rock Auto, and I know why you do. I went for a while, I didn't buy anything from them. But, I don't have a large budget for this thing, and I wanted to make it be drivable, safe, with a budget. Seatbelts came off of eBay. Most of the stuff came off of either eBay or Rock Auto or the filling station, which mainly I think sells truck stuff, but a lot of the specialty stuff that I had to buy for the car came from the filling station. So, I give them a great thumbs up. Yeah, Chevs of the 40s sells this stuff, but they have a pretty exorbitant shipping charge, minimum shipping charge, and I couldn't put together a large enough order to justify that shipping charge at the time I was buying the stuff. I'm not saying I won't use them, but I'm not using them yet. It's not saying anything bad about them. It's not been within the means of my budget to be able to spend that when I could use that money elsewhere. So with all of that being said, I'll show you a few things that I did. Money savers. I won't call it cost cutting because I don't believe in cost cutting. I believe in saving money where you can save it, but not cutting corners. Now, that I don't go for. And especially when it comes to the safety of a motor vehicle, uh, you don't go cheap. Absolutely not. Not ever. Okay, what I got here. This is the factory wiring diagram out of the manual, plus I ordered the wiring manual book, which was on eBay for this car. I took this, I scanned it in the computer, I blew it up to like 2 sheets by 2 sheets, and I went in and changed the wiring to what it actually is. And took out what they had, and I added what, my own color scheme. I used some used wire that I had for the wiring harness, where it goes from, basically, you're looking at from, like, here's the dash panel going to the back of the car. You'll never see that wire. It's all in loom. Loom was made out of friction tape. So, no, not all of this was the regular standard this type stuff. Okay, a lot of it is regular modern vinyl covered insulated wiring. But what you can see, I used the factory type, close to factory type style patterns. Spark plug wires, the wiring bought from Tons Performance through eBay. The fuel pump rebuild kit came from the filling station. Battery was donated by my 1950 Farmall. It belongs to it. But, just little things like that. The oil filter is an AC Delco oil filter purchased off eBay. Brake wheel cylinder kits. Master cylinder rebuild kit are AC Delcos and Raybestos. Bought on clearance at Rock Auto for like $2 or $3 a piece. I just kept watching for a wholesaler closeout until I got it. I think the master cylinder rebuild kit was like $12. But all AC Delco. That's what I say. Don't go cheap. Brake lines were all replaced with NICOP. The entire brake system has been completely rebuilt, as has the electrical system, other than the generator. Generator was taken apart and cleaned. You can't see it real good, but it's down in there. Took it apart and cleaned it, and it works just fine. As for the starter, I didn't have to take it off, and so far haven't done anything to it really. Down there you can kind of see it. It's this thing right there behind my finger, if you don't know what that is. And yeah, there's oil on the floor. The rear main is leaking a little bit. But considering I didn't have to do anything to this engine, the only thing I did do was adjust the valves, and they needed it. But everything else was in really good shape. I haven't done a compression test. Kind of afraid to, but it is hitting on all 6 cylinders. And it gets me where I need to go. I've let the thing set in idle for like an hour and a half with the headlights on, the generator pulling. And just when I went to test everything out, kind of give it a good dry run, and it sat there in idle like a dream the whole time. Did replace the gas tank, the rear tail lights, all light bulbs, things like that. A new vacuum wiper motor, new old stock. Of course, the upholstery has been redone with Hobby Lobby. This came from Hobby Lobby. This came from Hobby Lobby. No, I'm not a master upholsterer, but I like it. And this board is just simply a piece of masonite on each door. The kick panels are covered with the same thing, and they're made out of cardboard. The rear panels, same thing, made out of cardboard. The package tray, upholstery covered, you guessed it, cardboard. the headliner. Very pleased with how it turned out. I thought it would be an absolute disaster. Of course, some of the knobs, things like that I got them from the filling station. Different things. The seat belts, eBay specials, they're TRWs. Floorboard has been patched. My windlace had glued it in. The glue, I'm gonna fire that glue. It's not doing its job. Anyway, just little things that, you know, I like. There were flag decals right here, and they were almost like this, but they were made out of some type of a silk screened material that was clear. This was the closest thing I could find to it, so I put them on it, kind of like an homage to the original owners. And this car had been in the same family pretty much since it was new. So, a fun little project, and if it's something you want to get into, don't let anything hold you back from it. If you want to know how to do most of the mechanical, brakes, things like that on a car like this, if you have a 46 to 48 Chevy, I would recommend search out the Jayhawker. He's got some excellent how-to videos, and he helped me with this thing, with his videos, and with even contacting him. He was more than happy to help and share his knowledge. So, you know, hey, you can't beat that. So, I would recommend, you know, do things like this, and if you want to just have a fun project. And if you don't know how to do something, you can learn how to do things. I know how to do more about upholstery than I used to. I know how vacuum wipers work now, and I didn't have a clue. But I do now, you know, just having fun, enjoying time with the family, with the Style Master. So, I hope you find this enjoyable entertainment. Like I say, my stuff's entertainment purposes only. Just something to watch, give you some fresh ideas, see what other people have done, and, you know, do things like that for yourself if you're so inclined. And share it with other people, because that's really what things are all about, is being able to share it. If you can't have anyone to share it with, then, you know, what good is it? And this is a sign of things to come. Eventually, my 1950 Farmall post-demo is it's going to need a refreshing. So at some point in time, I plan on working on it. Might document a few things for anyone that would be interested. So anyway, enjoy. Until next time, thank you and out.